Hello. Dear ladies and gentlemen, entrepreneurs, investors, innovators, policymakers, corporate leaders, future enthusiasts, friends. I would like to welcome you to the Future Now Startup Awards night of 2021, whether you are here in person or you're watching online. I would like to welcome you in the name of HubHub, the Future Now Startup Awards night organizer. You know what HubHub is, but perhaps there's someone in this room or on the other side of the stream that doesn't know. So I will let you know that HubHub is a network of co-working spaces, of beautiful co-working spaces in 4 countries of Central and Eastern Europe, that is Slovakia, Czechia, Poland, and Hungary, and also in the UK. So not only does HubHub offer these creative, beautiful office spaces, it also tries, and I think successfully so, tries to build an environment to grow, connect, and inspire. In the spirit of this mission, Future Now is conceived as the flagship early-stage startup program for the CEE startups. And we will see 10 of these startups, 10 of these innovators here tonight pitching on this stage. My name is Kristina Korčeková, and I will be your host tonight. Running a successful and meaningful startup program is impossible without friends and partners. We are humbled that the importance of Future Now's mission has been recognized by the President of the Slovak Republic, Madame Zuzana Čaputová. We thank her office for her support, and we are happy to announce that Madame Čaputová found time to record a message for us, which you will hear right now.
Dear participants of the Startup Awards night, congratulations to all of you on making it this far in the selection. Invention is at the heart of solving most of humanity's challenges, including the ongoing pandemic or the climate crisis. If we are to ensure that Slovakia and Central Europe don't stay behind, we will need your creativity and your dedication. But your invention and innovations also need proper support through improving our education system or a business climate that allows the best ideas to develop further or scale up when needed. It fills me with optimism to see there's so much talent and creativity matched by hard work. Thank you for what you are doing. This is your evening, so I hope you will enjoy it. I wish you all the best and lots of inspiration.
So thank you, Madame Čaputová, for these kind words, and we are hoping that you are watching on the other side of these cameras. Thank you, and if not, perhaps we can send you a gift basket or a thank you text message. We would also like to thank our long-lasting partners who dedicated their time to support the next generation of entrepreneurs in the CEE region. Now I will name them, some of the special ones, starting with Slovak Business Agency, Slovak Innovation and Energy Agency, Taylor Wessing, Microsoft, Tatra Banka, Shin and Majduch, O2, Venture to Future Fund, Vision Ventures, Cube, and Sparring. Now, I don't see very well without my glasses, so I don't really know how old you are, the people who are in this room, nor do I see who's on the other side of the stream. But I know that many of you remember what has happened exactly 10 years and 1 day ago. That was on November 17th, 2011, when the first Startup Awards were held. Their motto, innovate, venture, and inspire. In those 10 years, plenty has changed. I have a selection of facts to amuse you with. First, well, it's not very amusing. It's the pandemic that is testing our resilience of our economy, society, but also of our morals. Facebook has become Meta, and Google has become Alphabet. We have elected our first female president here in Slovakia. We ran 6 more Czechoslovak pop idol searches, perhaps one too many. Slovak startups raised over 330 million euros in funding, with over 90 million coming locally from Slovakia. Both Czechia and Poland got their first unicorn, while Slovakia and Hungary is still hunting their first one. And in 2017, a new concept was born, Conference Future Now, which complemented Startup Awards, the original startup preparation bootcamp and pitching competition. Future Now has become one of the leading conferences about innovation and entrepreneurship in the CEE. It has also created a platform connecting innovators, investors, startups, technology enthusiasts, engaged public, basically you. Its mission is also to create space where people and ideas can connect, enabling paths for innovation to enter our daily lives. And here we are in 2021 after a very challenging 2020, when Future Now ran a limited online bootcamp for selected startups, and there was no awarding nor conferencing. But today we are back with one of those. And we have prepared some 2 hours of program composed of inspiring speeches and discussions. You will see some of the most successful entrepreneurs in the CEE region, Future Now alumni, sometimes they overlap, which is very good. And of course, pitches of 10 startups that have been preparing for this moment for 5 days during this intense bootcamp that HubHub organized. In the spirit of disruption, we will start our agenda with keynote speeches. You didn't expect that. The first one will be delivered by CEO of O2, Igor Todt. Mr. Todt will opinionate on how to use data responsibly. I am a big space enthusiast. I watched all of the Alien movies. I've seen everything sci-fi that comes out. So I'm very excited that the director of the Hawaii Space Exploration Analog and Simulation will talk to us through the message she recorded, and that is none other than Michaela Musilová. Next up, we will have General Manager of Microsoft for Slovakia and Czechia, Mrs. Violeta Luka, who will show how to lead the expansion of a multinational like Microsoft. And we will wrap up our warm-up speeches with Mr. Artur Bobovnický, Director of Innovations and International Cooperation at the Slovak Innovation and Energy Agency. He will discuss how to support the growth of startups in Slovakia. And in the later part of the evening, after the pitches, we will be joined by a successful Slovak entrepreneur and founder Dalibor Cicman of Jim Beam, as well as with Future Now alumni Piotr Chomčík of Rendero. These two will be online. Martin Basila from Senzoneo, Tomáš Žáček from EcoCapsule. I don't know which one you are, because I don't see that far. But also with Maria Virčík from Matsuko. And, well, we couldn't call this night a Startup Awards night if it wasn't for the key part, the startup pitching, and then the subsequent awarding. The 10 startups will pitch in front of a 5-member jury, which is sitting in the front row, but also in front of you, the audience, and representatives of HubHub. All in all, 3 startups will be awarded tonight, chosen respectively by the jury, HubHub, and the audience. You will receive instructions how to vote after the pitches are done. The 3 winners will each receive free Microsoft credits and a physical artifact, which is a statue on that table, if I see correctly. But all the other startups will also benefit from this evening because they will each receive 3 months membership at HubHub and continuous support in their journeys through prepared education events during the first quarter of 2022, delivered by VCs, mentors, and partners of HubHub. So this startup night, this award night, is not a one-night stand. It is the beginning of a beautiful communal friendship. Now, I would like to welcome on the stage CEO of the network operator O2, who will tell us how to use data responsibly, Mr. Igor Todt.
Thank you very much, dear ladies and gentlemen, dear startup community. I'm really glad that I can stand here tonight, and I'm really delighted to support Future Now and HubHub as a really innovative project that connects large number of entrepreneurs across the European region. Over the past couple of days, startups were advised how to grow their business, how to focus on the customers, and how to actually deliver the business value. But that's not enough, because on their journey, they should never forget to bring back the value to the society, to the community in which they operate. And today, I'm gonna show you the example, or I'm gonna share with you the story of O2 Slovakia as a tech company, as a telecommunication company that is actually trying to motivate its customers not to use their products irresponsibly. Every business and every one of us has its bright side, and we are quite happy to talk about the bright side, you know, and we talk much more about the bright side. And I'm pretty sure that you've seen many of the pictures like that in the ads of the telecommunication companies or some other companies that offers mobile connectivity, internet connectivity, or selling smartphones. But there's also a dark side. And we do not like to talk about the dark side, either we as a people or we as companies. And I'm pretty sure that you haven't seen so many pictures like these in the commercials, but you've seen many of those pictures in a real life. And to be honest, we are part of the problem. But why we are part of the problem? We do obviously promote our great network experience. We do promote our great data connectivity, selling smartphones and delivering actually great value and satisfying the needs of the customers, which we should all do, right? Fortunately, we can be part of the solution as well. And how? Let me just share you a few initiatives we did over the past couple of years to actually help the society, to help the community, to lift it to the next level. Because we, as a company that has a great, obviously, the media presence and has a great power, we can either brutalize the society or, as Bill says, we can move it to the next level. What we did as the first initiative, you may remember, Saifa, one of the most famous influencers, got caught by the police officers while driving when he was live streaming on his Instagram account. He got caught, he got a fine, and it was actually well prepared with Saifa and with police officers. And this initiative did a great amount of awareness, and it raised the awareness of the problem of actually using mobile phones while driving. And you may raise your hands, how many of you have ever used their smartphones while driving? You see, majority of us did so, and also me did in the past. After the campaign, obviously, I started doing that. But the awareness is just one part. Another important part is actually to do something with that and offer the solution. So what we did, we partnered with a Slovak-based car navigation company, Sajic, and we created an app that was actually rewarding the customers for not touching their smartphones while driving. So we were giving extra gigs of data to those customers. And the results were quite amazing. As you can see, the number of touches decreased significantly, but what's even more important that 48% of younger population said actually that it had an impact on their behavior of not using their smartphones while driving. you've seen many of those situations while waiting in a restaurant, looking around and seeing the kids looking to their smartphones, either while waiting for their meal or even worse, while eating their meals. And we are obviously part of the problem. So what we do in this area, we are trying to educate their parents how to stop their kids from falling for it. So what we do, we prepared a large amount of content, either online or offline. We are giving brochures when selling the smartphones, and we are trying to educate how to actually use the technology, how to use the mobile phones in a responsible manner. On top of that, we know that obviously using the technology is just one part, and use it in a good manner is very important. But on the other hand, if we want to grow the future healthy generation, we need to support their movement. We need to support their exercise and sports activities. So we do partner with Športová akadémia Mateja Tota, or O2 Sports Academy, that was founded by Olympic winner Matej Tot. Again, the results, you can see that over the past couple of years, around 20 schools were involved. More than 5,000 kids were actually educated or passed or were active thanks to the academy. And on top of that, the views of the exercise video on YouTube or online were really in a high number. Let me just move to the final, and maybe one of the most important part of today's world and the most important problem. I'm talking specifically about fake news and hoax. Specifically during the pandemic times, it's very, very, very dangerous what's happening out there in the online space and specifically in the social media. Let me just start with a video of the latest initiative we launched at the beginning of this year.
Dobrý deň. Mýlila som sa. Rúška a očkovanie nemajú žiadny význam. A ešte som sa chcela priznať, že spomedzi všetkých osobností na svete najviac obdivujem Kristínu Tarmovú. Že neveríte vlastným očiam a ušiam? Takto by som vám mohla rozprávať ešte veľa. Ale nie všetkému sa dá veriť.
Dnes existuje množstvo spôsobov, ako manipulovať s informáciami, vytvárať klamlivé správy či napodobniť ľudí, ktorým dôverujeme. Tak, ako som teraz ja zneužila tvár a hlas Zlatice. Preto vás prosím, buďte v online priestore pozorní. Konšpirácie môžu ubližiť vám aj vašim blízkym. Dátujte zodpovedne a zdieľajte s rozumom.
For those who do not speak Slovak, we used one of the most famous and trustworthy faces of the Slovak news. And basically, we did a deep fake video using an artificial intelligence to actually make the face to say something which she would never say, and actually she never did. So it was prepared using the artificial intelligence, and again, it provoked the reactions and it raised a huge awareness around this topic across different age groups. So it was very, very effective. And on top of that, what we did, again, we just didn't raise the awareness, but we proposed the solution. So we created an educational content, and as you can see, we prepared the hoax test, where people could actually see or could get an education how to distinguish between the, let's call it the real news and the fake news. In terms of results, obviously it was one of the, or actually not one of the, it was the most successful video post ever in almost 15 years history of O2 on social media. Although if you compare it with some other content that is spread on Facebook, you wouldn't find that video to be belonging to that category. But what's even more important, that more than 40,000 people actually it's not here, but more than 40,000 people actually passed the test, so got the education how to actually distinguish and how to understand or how to actually be ready to share or not to share the content which they cannot trust. And you may ask, we are a telecommunication company, we do offer mobile services, we do offer data services to our customers, so why should we actually bother, right? Because we are here to generate profit, and we do those kind of activities. We talk about our dark side. And as you can see that it's important both for the customers, but it's also important for the employees. But would it be enough? Would it be enough to do it just for the customers and for the employees just to be, nicer? Because at the end of the day, if you are nicer to, or in the eyes of the customers, or if you are nicer in the eyes of your employees, you actually can generate value, you can generate more money, you can sell more services, you can hire better people. So it's not the only reason, right? You just need to believe that it's the right thing to do. You need to have a passion for that. And on top of generating profit and top of generating money, you need to bring back the value back to the society in which you operate. And let me just conclude with the thought I started with, talking to the startups. On your journey, you're gonna definitely grow your business, and I wish you all the best to be successful and grow your business, to serve as many customers as possible. But on that journey, please do not forget to bring back the value to the society, and do not forget to talk about your dark sides. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ingrid. Thank you very much. Do you have time for one question?
I do.
Well, we should have rehearsed this before, because I want to ask what else is in the pipeline of your CSR activities?
I just, cannot reveal that. So
Secrets.
yeah, but definitely it's gonna be something in the area of dark side, because there are many of them, so you can always find something you can improve.
All right, and when should we expect this big reveal?
In the upcoming months.
Oh. All right, well, we are in waiting. Thank you very much for
Thank you
your
very much.
presentation,
Thank you.
and enjoy the rest of the evening. Igor Tot. So we continue with our space journey with the director of the, I'm going to say it again because it's so lovely, the Hawaii Space Exploration Analog and Simulation, a Mars and Moon Exploration Analog Research Station. So it's actual simulating what Mars and Moon would be like. It is currently operated by the International Moon Base Alliance, and it is run by a Slovak original, can I say that? Well, she's from Slovakia, and it is Michaela Musilová. She made a video. I'm gonna move.
Hi everyone, or aloha from Hawaii. My name is Dr. Michaela Musilová. I'm the director of the High Seas Research Station on the volcano Mauna Loa in Hawaii, which is a place where we organize simulated missions to the Moon and Mars in collaboration with NASA, the European Space Agency, and many other space organizations from all around the world. I'm also an astrobiologist. That means I search for life in space, basically aliens. Originally from Slovakia, it's been my lifelong dream since I was about 8 years old to become an astronaut. I've been following this dream since that age, for many ups and downs along the way. Some of the greatest challenges I faced were having to fund my studies. Basically at the age of 15, I decided that I wanted to pursue astrobiology, even though at the time it didn't really exist as something you could study at university. So I had to find my own way to not only get to astrobiology, but to fund those studies, as my parents were not able to help me financially to go to university in the UK or the US, which were the places I figured I had the best chances of getting to astrobiology and increasing my chances of becoming an astronaut one day. So I decided to do this on my own. I had multiple jobs while at high school, and at university later I would sometimes have 3 part-time jobs to help me fund my studies. I would also try to work the hardest to get scholarships and be the top in my year many times so that I could get more funding for my studies. And in this way I was able to get scholarships to study at University College London in the UK, where I studied geology and astrophysics as part of planetary science. I later got a scholarship to study at Caltech in the US, which at the time it was the best university in the world. The scholarship was worth $50,000, so unimaginable money for me at the time, and I was incredibly grateful for that opportunity. And it was at Caltech that I was able to add biology to my studies. I did microbiology, environmental science, biochemistry, things like that. And that's how I was able to get closer to astrobiology. And thanks to that, I found out that at NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory, which was affiliated with Caltech, there were possibilities to work directly on astrobiology research. But as a foreign national in the US, so basically someone without a green card or US citizenship, it's very difficult to be able to work for NASA. It took me about 6 months of working with various researchers at NASA, telling them all my ideas for research projects I wanted to work on with them and trying to find funding, that we were able to secure both funding but also permits for me to work at NASA as a visiting researcher. And that's how we got around the whole visa situation. And so at 21 years old, I was working at NASA on astrobiology research. It was like a dream come true. I was actually involved with the Curiosity rover mission, and I was able to put my signature into Curiosity, which is currently on Mars. So that was one of the best rewards ever for a project that I worked on. But after that, I had to go back to the UK for visa reasons. I couldn't stay in the US. And I decided to pursue my PhD there, focusing on life in extreme environments. And that is these so-called extremophiles, extreme life forms that we know can survive in crazy, challenging conditions all around the world, in deserts, in the depths of oceans, in polar regions, for example, on glaciers or underneath glaciers. And by trying to study these organisms, we can figure out the extremes of life on Earth, to what extent basically organisms on Earth can survive to. So then we could see if there are similar conditions on other planets and moons in our solar system and elsewhere where we could find similar life. And that is the link to astrobiology. So my PhD research at the University of Bristol was focusing on life in extremely cold environments. I got to do research in Greenland, for instance, where I camped next to a glacier for almost 3 months, working in extremely cold and challenging conditions with polar bears around and so many other challenges. But it was extremely rewarding. Who gets to say that I have an office with a view of a glacier sort of thing. I really enjoyed the work, and I published some really exciting research on that, including in Nature Geoscience. But after my PhD, I was wondering what to do next. I had some offers, including from NASA or various teaching positions in the UK to pursue doing this research of extreme life forms. But at the same time, I learned of this organization in Slovakia called SOSA, the Slovak Organization for Space Activities. They were trying to push the space sector forward in Slovakia, since we are still not a member of the European Space Agency, and we were pretty far behind back then, and I think it was 2015. And also there were some efforts to build an astrobiology center in Slovakia. And so they approached me if I would be willing to do that. And I told myself, if there's a time in my life after my PhD, maybe now's the time to go back home and try and make these changes for the better. Later perhaps I may get established somewhere abroad, and it would be much more difficult for me to go home. So I went back to Slovakia. Within a few months, I was elected as chair of SOSA, and soon enough we were able to launch the first Slovak satellite. I started teaching astrobiology at different universities. Now there's even a space engineering degree program at 2 universities in Slovakia, thanks to our efforts. And I was involved in many other space engineering projects in Slovakia, led mostly by young people. And it was extremely rewarding working in this environment. And we have so much potential in Slovakia and in the region to do all these amazing space projects, and to be able to have young people involved in these projects at home rather than having to go abroad like myself to pursue our passions elsewhere. But unfortunately, there are some issues back home, but all over the world that I encountered, such as misogyny in the space sector, but also in academia in general. And for instance, in Slovakia, the more I was appearing in the media talking about all these space activities and how Slovakia should become a member of the European Space Agency and things like that, the more I became involved with the media, doing outreach activities, trying to explain to the public and politicians why it's so important for Slovakia to become a member of the European Space Agency and to support space-related activities, the more certain groups of people that didn't like my, popularity with the media, with the public, started to spread lies about me in the media, that I never worked for NASA and all these terrible things, including related to the project of the first Slovak satellite. There were even some attempts to blackmail me, and it just became really difficult. So when later that year, that was 2017, I was selected by NASA to do a simulated mission here at High Seas, I decided to accept that offer and to have a change of environment and see if I could find another way that I could help my home country Slovakia without having to face all those extremely difficult and unpleasant problems that I faced back home. And so I went to Hawaii to do a mission at High Seas. Unfortunately, that mission didn't go quite according to plan. However, the silver lining was that I was working with the people who actually run High Seas, who own the facility, and they really liked my ideas and research projects, that they ultimately offered me the role of director of High Seas. And so I have been here in Hawaii since 2018, so for almost 4 years, running now over 30 simulated missions to the Moon and Mars. I've been the commander of most of those missions. And even though it was difficult for me to go away from my home country and to literally the other side of the world to be here, I can actually do more for Slovakia here than when I was trying to do that at home. For instance, I involve a lot of students and companies in the different missions that I organize at High Seas. I even run a nationwide competition in Slovakia called Mission to Mars, or Misia Mars, where high school students get to design experiments that I then perform during these missions in collaboration with NASA, the European Space Agency, and so on. I involve different companies in the research that we do at High Seas. And in general, I still try and help my country, Slovakia, and I find that I can do it more like this from the other side of the world, when instead of the way things were when I was back home and fighting very petty wars, unfortunately. In terms of High Seas, I really enjoy it here. It's a wonderful experience. It's been very rewarding because my goal as director has always been to open up this facility to literally the whole world. So it's not just how it used to be mostly Americans and only people involved with NASA that would take part in missions. Instead, I work with space agencies, space organizations from all around the world. I, on purpose, like to have very diverse crews of different backgrounds, religions, people of the LGBTQ+ community, people of color, and so on. And I found that the more diverse the crew, the more creative they are, they're better at problem solving, but they also bond better and become a sort of space family rather than just a group of space professionals trying to live and work together under extreme conditions. And so it's been very rewarding. I've seen much more applicants of these diverse backgrounds, minorities applying, and many more women. And I think part of the reason is that people can see themselves in the people who are the so-called analog astronauts, the people who take part in these missions. If you can recognize yourself, if you see more and more women becoming analog astronauts, if you see more people of color from the LGBTQ+ community and so on, then the more you feel like, oh, I have a chance at, being selected and taking part in a mission like this too. So that's been one of my ways of trying to encourage more women, people from minorities and so on to take part in these missions. And it's a wonderful experience, though extremely challenging because you have to live in an environment where you have only maybe 3 liters of water a day that you can use to cook, clean, and wash yourself with, things like that. You only eat freeze-dried food. You have to wear a simulated spacesuit to go outside, and only with the permission of mission control on Earth. you're living in this really small space with 5 other people. It, can get pretty tense in there. You missed your loved ones. You're completely isolated from them. You're on a volcano, so you're in a pretty dangerous environment, and the landscape around us really looks like another planet. So it's a challenging place to be, but it's what we need to do. We need to test just how challenging such an environment can be so that we can really truly prepare for being able to live on other planets in the future. And I wear several hats. I have multiple jobs, but one of the main activities I do, apart from my work at High Seas, is I do a lot of outreach. I work with schools and communities around the world, trying to encourage young people to pursue their dreams and passions. Actually, last year, a book about my life called The Woman from Mars, or in Slovakian Žena z Marsu, came out, and it's been really great to see how I'm able to motivate other people to also pursue their dreams despite many obstacles along the way, just like I've been facing my whole life. So I encourage you as well, don't let yourself be put off if you come across challenges. There will always be challenges along the way. The important thing is to know what your goal is, go for it, of course, in a reasonable and ethical way. Don't hurt anyone along the way, but don't let yourself be put off if there are going to be problems. Instead, realize that only really doing what you love and are passionate about is going to be fulfilling for you in your life. So good luck with your great work, and I'm looking forward to what kind of things you're going to come up with in the future. Take care, everyone. Aloha.
Well, this was an extremely inspirational talk, and a lot of things sort of struck core, the petty wars and the difficulty Michal was facing in Slovakia while trying to move the country forward. But the idea about diversity and the importance of diversity in the creative processes and in the entrepreneurship, that's something that we increasingly see also implemented here. Every other year of acceleration programs and startup awards, we see more and more female founders. So that is the diversity we get in the CEE region, but I hope that we're going to see all different kinds of diversities in the future. But at this point, I would like to talk a little bit more about not Mars, not Moon, but Microsoft, who is one of Future Now's key partners. As the company found synergies with the program and their growth activities across Slovakia and Czechia, and they supported scouting for the best startups across CEE. And Microsoft also offered one-on-one technical consultations for startups and members of HubHub. At this point, General Manager of Microsoft for Slovakia and Czechia will show how to lead the expansion of a multinational like Microsoft, and that would be Violeta Luka.
So, good evening, everyone. Really happy to be here. Ahoy. I'm so happy to be connecting with you. Thank you, Future Now, and thank you, HubHub, for the partnership and for the amazing things you are doing for our startup communities and for innovation and technology at large. So it is so inspiring to listen into the stories tonight, and it's even more inspiring to think that this is the 10th anniversary. And actually, the whole innovation ecosystem in Slovakia and in Central Eastern Europe grew a lot if we are thinking to the facts which were shared by Christina. But I think more importantly, and what I would like to speak tonight, is about how we make sure that we are pursuing the opportunities with even more intentionality and consistency in order to make the most of them. And before going into the details, it pops into my head one famous line from Charles Dickens, which was written back in 1859. And actually he wrote that it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. And these kind of words may seem very contradictory. And in the same time, thinking of them, it kind of depicts the reality we are living now. We have so many opportunities we are living, we are pursuing, we are benefiting from, but in the same time we have disruption, we are facing challenges and risks And it's actually our responsibility in the way we are actually managing what is ahead of us. And thinking about technology, it became more and more an enabler for change and positive transformation. It became a glue and also a facilitator of the positive change in the society. And actually, I will talk about three humankind inventions which were completely transformed by technology. The first one is agriculture. And we actually started to do agriculture 23,000 years ago. And we have done this pretty much the same for millennia and for decades. And actually about 10 years back, some companies and also some innovative minds started to think how we can utilize chip sensors and the power of technology, mainly the cloud technology, but not only, in order to drive precision agriculture, which can help us to utilize and to utilize resources more efficiently. And we succeeded in projects actually to drive up to 90% water savings. And in the context of climate changes, in the context of the rationality we need to pursue, actually this was a great innovation and step forward. And this was actually enabled by the power of modern technology, the power of data, of strong architectures, of good thinking, and of good insights taken out of data in order to drive precision agriculture. The second invention I will refer to, which is old as well, but not that old as agriculture, is really invention of coins. And of course, this happened before banks and before, let's say, the modern finance systems. And actually, this started 13,000 years ago. However, even if it's that kind of old type of invention, still a couple of years ago, and even now, we have more than 1 billion people on the planet who don't have access to banks and actually to modern payment systems. And it was a startup in the world called Temenos, who used the power of Microsoft Cloud technologies in order to create banking services for all the people who had a phone. So actually it enabled and it kind of addressed the challenges in certain parts of the world, utilizing technology and innovation in order to provide access to more people and to democratize the access to this service. And the last example I would refer to is actually the invention of writing, which was more than 3,000 years ago. And actually while writing appeared, it appeared the need for reading. And even after so long time, we as a society, we were faced with the problem of supporting children with dyslexia, because we needed to understand how we can utilize technology in order to help children read. And actually it was a startup in Sweden some years back, Optolexia, who actually utilized a tiny camera, which was kind of following the eyes of the children while reading, and utilizing and connecting this with AI technologies, it managed to support the reading lessons for those kids. So I gave only these three simple examples to showcase that even if we face a lot of disruption, even if some things are done traditionally for many years, actually bright minds and people coming together, utilizing the power of technology, we can drive positive change and we can really transform the world around us and the communities around us. And I think this is the beauty of the technology today. It can facilitate and it can transform tremendously what is happening around us. And I think we are really lucky that we are living in such amazing times, and we do have access to such technologies, and we have beautiful minds, and we have talents in Slovakia and Central Eastern Europe to really pursue those opportunities. And with this, I would segue to a dream we have at Microsoft and an ambition, actually. We believe in the fact that Slovakia and Central European countries can be the digital hotspot of the world. We believe that we have amazing STEM talents, that we have entrepreneurial spirit, that we have strong ideas that can be scaled, that can be fueled in order to drive transformation across the world, not only in our country. So I think in order to do this kind of communities, startup communities, investors, corporate citizens, initiatives coming together can help us to drive impact even more at scale. And actually, technology alone is not enough to drive transformation. Innovation really requires the ability to develop new capabilities from existing technology, as well as to implement new technologies. And this requires new skills. With growing demand for new skills, employers are really looking to upskill their people as the first one priority in order to close the skills gap. And here I believe there is a common initiative we could have across the country to really encourage people to learn new skills, because the skills we have today are having a lifespan of around 5 years, and it is foreseen that this is even more accelerating going forward. So actually we should encourage and to create systems of learning which will drive lifelong learning process and upskilling along the career. If we are thinking that Slovakia is one of the most industrial countries in the region, we need also to foresee what will happen when automation will change more the landscape, the industrial landscape, and how we can tackle this change in a positive way. So here is really an opportunity for us, for startups, to come with ideas in order to support people in transition, but also manufacturing and other types of companies connected to industry in order to become more efficient and more productive. And finally, I would like to convey from my side that we have a strong partner ecosystem sitting in Slovakia and in the region. We have strong professionals which can support technology journey, because it's not enough only to have a bright idea. It's not enough only to have a great architecture in the first place. You need to have strong alliance, strong partners with you in order to help you to scale and your idea, your go-to-market model, to drive partnerships that can solidify the business you are creating. And it's not always easy. But as my Mrs. Musilova was saying just before, I believe that consistency and really overcoming the challenges we have is what is making the difference between winners and the people who are not really able to scale themselves. So thank you again for the partnership. I wish you to have great pitches tonight. I wish you a lot of success going forward. And I will stop here with my intervention to allow for some questions if there are from Christina. Thank you.
Thank you, Violeta. I don't know if you see me and how you see me. I'm just going to look into that red light over there because it draws my attention. I surely have some questions, and perhaps the first one, I will have two, so we can not use too much of your time. But the first one would be, how would you assess, as a high value-added employer in the CEE region, how would you assess in the last 20 years, say, or 30 years, the development of skills and the readiness of people and their skills in this region? Because we hear a lot about how we are kind of dragging our feet, and we started strong with strong education and strong skills in the 90s. That was attractive, but now we see a bit of a lag, and especially in Slovakia, but similarly so in the other CEE countries.
Thank you, Christina. It's a great question. I don't have data points at hand for 20, 30 years, but I can speak looking at the last rather 10 years. So indeed, in this part of Europe, we do have strong STEM graduates, and we were recognized like having strong education systems, strong universities, which consequently created a strong human capital value for the present and also for the future. And indeed, probably along the years, some of the education systems became stronger, some of those ones not so much. So we didn't keep the pace in all the cases. But what I can tell you, if I'm looking at the IT system, IT industry actually, in Slovakia, in Czechia, and also in Romania and Poland, I'm seeing huge investments from corporate institutions, from corporate companies in different centers. And we moved from rather shared services type of centers to more value creation hubs for development, for engineering, for advanced support. If I'm looking also to Microsoft, we have one of the big development centers in Czech Republic, and we have one of the big support and advanced support and engineering centers in Romania, together with more than 3,000 people. So we chose these spots, these hubs, because we have strong technical talent. We have people speaking more foreign languages, and we are proficient at this. We have strong and positive attitudes. We are hardworking. We do look at, let's say, contributing and to innovate in our work environments. So I would say that is no point to really underestimate the power of the talents sitting in our country. In the same time, I think we have a responsibility as players here to really contribute to the educational system, either ourselves directly, with universities, with high schools, either together with NGOs in order to scale the impact. And I think this impact can be twofold. In one way, we should stay closer to the students in order to make sure that we are providing contribution to improving the curricula. And on the other hand, I think it's worth investing into our teachers in order to help them to utilize more modern kind of technologies, considering the fact that we are now living in a new world in which physical environment with digital environment, they are intertwined together. So we need to make sure that the learning experience is as strong in online like it is in offline. And more importantly is that we are able actually to mix the two in a hybrid way, which will help our people to become more advanced in their education systems.
Thank you for this really beautiful, detailed, exhaustive answer. If I may, I have another question. Well, I had two, but perhaps I can start with the small one, then we can build up to the other one. You have described all the things that give us hope. Where do you see another space of improvement, or did you phrase it so that you already named it, but it made me filled with hope rather than despair?
So I like all the time to look what we can transform and what we can do instead of the half, let's say, full part of the glass as a personality. So maybe I frame some of the kind of constraints or limitations. But to be very precise, I think we should encourage people to really drive more learning curricula into the ICT, because we do have in Slovakia roughly 57,000 ICT professionals. But we know that there is shortage of ICT personnel or professional IT skills. And I think one of the opportunities for all of us would be to make sure that our kind of capacity and the number of graduates is increasing in this field, and the curricula is adapted to the modern technologies. I think this would be one big opportunity and potential competitive advantage for Slovakia.
Thank you very much. And then perhaps for the last question, a little bit more precisely, because we know that Microsoft is working very actively with startups here, but also in Czechia. You have all different kinds of programs and opportunities for them to help them develop their business. Could you name a few that you would say are the shining crown jewels of your startup collection that you work with?
Yes, definitely, gladly, and thank you for the question. So I wouldn't speak tonight about the Microsoft for Startup program. I encourage you to really look into the details, but I will be speaking about something else, which is super valuable for startups when they move into the scale-ups and into more like scalable companies. And that one is really the IP co-sell partnerships, which Microsoft is driving, like a program cross geographies. And I was personally involved with my teams, both in Slovakia, Czech Republic, and previously in Romania, in really working with startups to scale their business by partnering with Microsoft, not only for our region, but for more, let's say, countries around the world, and even for global programs. And this is having a super big value, because it's very difficult as a young company to really be able to have access to a large commercial forces, sales force, marketing professionals, different tools in order to penetrate the enterprise space. And Microsoft is offering this, and this is a very unique proposition which none of our, let's say, other vendors or competitors in the market are able to offer it. And moreover, we are very much open to understand the technology landscape which startups or scale-ups are using and to really counsel, provide counseling and optimization ideas in order to support those companies to be more successful and more sustainable. So I think this level of, let's say, going together and really providing counseling and technical expertise transfer, marketing transfer, GTM type of partnerships, these are super valuable. And we have examples, and I would be super happy with one other occasion to really enter into details and to present concrete examples, because this is something which is creating tremendous value, and it brings us a lot of satisfaction as well as Microsoft.
Thank you very much. I believe that perhaps these details will be available in the first quarter of next year, when the program will continue for the 10 startups that are here tonight to pitch, but also for others. Thank you very much, Violeta Luka, General Manager of Microsoft for Slovakia and Czechia. Thank you.
Thank you, Christina.
So, and to wrap up our warm-ups, I would like to invite Director of Innovations and International Cooperation at the Slovak Innovation and Energy Agency here on the stage, who will discuss how to support the growth of startups in Slovakia, Mr. Artur Bobovnický.
So, good evening, guys. I had 5 minutes. I was told 5 minutes. It will be 10 according to the measure. No, 5. I saw what you done. So I will start immediately with some data. In 1950, the average lifespan of the Fortune 500 companies was 75 years. 5 years ago, it was only 15, and it continues to shrink. Of course, the question would be, why it is so? And the answer, it's my answer, that companies are not structured to adapt to the changing world. Why? Because it started 10,000 years ago of evolution. From hunters, we continue as a farmer. And we are now privileged to repeat and optimize whatever led to the last year wonderful harvest. So we are polishing those things which are bringing us profit. And then we are not able to be flexible more, even. Several years ago, I was part of the team from Innsbruck University, which has been trying to analyze what top companies do differently, why some companies are sustainably successful. And we found out there are 7 factors which are contributing to the success of companies. Out of these 7 factors, you can see there are 2 creating the backbone of success. It is innovation orientation of the top management and innovation output to the market. And these 7 factors are contributing or are able to describe success of the companies on 55%. The remaining 45 is something between the sky and earth, and sometimes it's not in our hands. But 55% is so far the best model describing the success of the companies. So if we know what is contributing to the success of the companies, why Slovakia and Slovak companies are not contributing to the success, why we are still only, and for sure we will be several years more, only modest innovator according to the European Innovation Scoreboard. And you can look at every innovation scoreboard, we are very mean. Why? Because everyone wants to get better and faster. Problem is that not everyone puts in the effort. Igor, you would be probably happy to see this commercial. I will not run it because it will exceed my time. But those who are interested, look at the YouTube, watch YouTube, Be More Dog, and it's wonderful. And my answer, what we can do differently is be more dog. Get out of your comfort zone, because this is one of the crucial points. We are polishing those things we know, and we are forgetting to think about these different things. Our agency is here to show you or to propose you to help in making a lot of small ideas really big. Because Slovakia, Poland, Czech Republic, Hungary, and other Central Eastern European, we don't need to bring to the market breakthrough products, breakthrough ideas. But we have to create a lot of small, little ideas that we can make big. And our experience is from the last 5 years, when we visited over 200 schools in the Slovakia, secondary schools, with our innovation workshops, that we have plenty of bright brains. We just need to show them how to use the brain, how to be more receptive to the needs of the market, and use proper technologies or proper technique to develop new idea. So if you, as a startuppers, want to help or need some help, don't be shy, come to us. We can look what you need, and we can help you and your teams to develop little ideas on the big ideas. So that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Arthur. I will tell my cat to be more like a dog. She just needs to be more like a cat first.
Well,
clean herself and all that.
Believe me, Christina, I would like to be more dog sometimes. I'm all dog.
I have a quick question for you. What do you as the agency offer to the startups and corporates that are here in this room?
There are several things, and I don't want to be promoter or seller of the product.
Sell away.
But of course, we have innovation vouchers. We have these innovation workshops, which are well positioned not only among the students at the universities and the secondary schools, but they are well accepted at the companies as well. And what I want to say, because we are working in the period of 7 years as a programming period. I started with the data, and I will finish with the data. The next 30 years we will see more changes than we saw last 300 years. And our team wants to be part of these changes and want to contribute to that, or at least to help those who are, more dog, to be driver of these changes.
Thank you very much. This is very ambitious for public sector, but as a fellow public sectorian, I believe in your mission. Thank you. Artur Bobovnický.
Thank you, Christina. Thank you indeed.
Now we are warmed up. You don't need to do any exercises. You have heard a lot of stuff. And now we get to the pitching, finally. Well, not that I wanted to skip for the things before, but finally. So before we start pitching, let's meet the jury. I will start with partner at PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and international team leader in the Global Assurance Quality Inspection segment. I hope I said it right. Alica Pavúková. We continue with the CEO of A Case. A Case is a success story emerging from the CEE itself. It ranks among the leading consultancy and outsourcing providers in the region. Mihaela Virlan-Paszek. I hope I had the name right. We continue with similar name, founding partner at Kuraden, company that brought the brand Kuraprox to Slovakia, and we all got better teeth since then. And also an active citizen, mentor, and activist, Lucia Pašková. Then we have founder of PEX, a US-based company, but the founder is Slovak. PEX is the market leader in digital rights technology. Its solution simplifies licensing on a global scale. Rastislav Turek. And we get to the beginning of the line, and here we have head of R&D at Tatra Banka. Tatra Banka was awarded the most innovative digital bank by Global Finance in 2019, Mr. Michal Satur. Now, we know the jury. Now I will tell you a little bit about the pitching. Now, pitching is a very organized affair. There's no thrills to it. It's just very rigorous, almost military. You have, well, the startups, they have 3 minutes to pitch, not more. They will present the challenge they are solving, the product they are building, the business case that they are hoping to make money off. Perhaps somewhat unusually to the classic pitching competitions, the jury will not be asking questions. So we're going to go through the 10 pitches in a rather swift tempo. After the 10th pitch, the jury will be conjured upstairs to deliberate about their winner. You, the audience, will be asked to do the same with your smartphones, and the HubHub crew or HubHub team will also deliberate in an undisclosed location, choosing their winner. To remind you, each of the 3 winners, so the jury, audience, and HubHub, will receive free Microsoft credits and also a physical artifact of their triumph, which is on that table over there. And also all of the startups will be awarded 3 months membership at HubHub and continuous education. So after these 3 minutes, I come back to the beginning, after the 3 minutes, a sound signal will be heard, and that is your cue to clap and to applaud. You know, their effort was great, and also to get them off the stage. And startups will be also somewhat unusually pitching without a pitch deck, which means more work for them. They have to remember everything and more eye contact with you. So be ready to, you know, see them. And then you, the jury, and also HubHub are invited to deliberate based on the following criteria. You can choose whichever you want from these: performance, key message, product, innovativeness, team, scalability, target customer base, revenues, funds, and time management, I guess, for this presentation. It will be very sophisticated combinatorics to find who was the best. And now to the first startup. I lower my voice to, you know, show that it's really important. We start with a startup working in clean tech and in AI, improving policy makers' decisions about air pollution situation and improving the quality of life. I have mangled it a little bit, but, you know, just to make you curious, what is it really about? That's Damian Bucha of Calm IT.
Hello, my name is Damian. With Calm IT, we help cities make better decisions and save them a lot of money with our new AI-based software solution that changes the way traffic and air quality are analyzed. We created Calm to help one of our customers with a specific problem, a complex long-term study of traffic in his area, which you may imagine is a really complicated and time-consuming job. And in modern society, nobody wants to manually count cars or hire any more people for such a mundane and recurring tasks. But because of this, authorities make decisions based on outdated data or worse, on their feelings, which affects all of us. Until now, using machine vision and our own artificial intelligence, we analyze video streams from IP cameras and combine it with data from other IoT sensors, providing analytical reports for future city planning. Our competitors are some telco carriers who usually resell other partial solutions, hardware manufacturers, or companies that specialize in measurement of just one single element. Our advantages is complete in-house development and strong focus on usage of existing camera hardware. On top of that, we are a great team of lifelong friends with more than a decade of experience in IT and with camera systems, and we are much more flexible. We have an AI guru with PhD, we have a lawyer for business management and sales, and a telco engineer for operations and coding. Calm is a customer-driven innovation validated by generating revenue over 70,000 euros by our 3 paying clients who have already experienced real-world benefits like better road maintenance or improved bus lanes. But we don't rest. We also take part in 1 more pilot and have 3 other opportunities in our pipeline. We market Calm as a software as a service to make it even more convenient for our clients and to ensure a steady recurring revenue on our side. Our initial go-to strategy is to directly contact medium-sized municipalities with our freemium offer, but our main goal is to use our partners' network to expand our reach even further. And we are already talking with our partners in Poland, Hungary, and Czech Republic to go international. Our ambition is to be present in every major city in Europe within 3 to 5 years. And right now, we are looking for 500,000 euros on our initial seed investment round to help us innovate faster and grow our team. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Damian Bucha of Calm IT. Very fast, very good. And we continue with an online store, B2B and B2C, that offers innovative products valuable in their nutritional value, but also friendly to the planet. It is Ursula Nijo, Foodbucks.
Hi everyone. What do you associate insects with? Until recently, I perceived them as pests, as something uncomfortable that I don't want to deal with. As of January 2021, insects in Europe are officially safe for human consumption, and that changed my view. I learned that they are not only nutritious, but also better for the environment. My name is Ula, and I'm the co-founder of Foodbucks, the company that offers products based on edible insects. We operate in 3 areas. First one, e-commerce. We offer 25 unique products in our online store. For example, dried insects, chips, and cricket flour. Second one, distribution. Our key source of income is B2B sales. We cooperate with universities, climbing walls, and health food stores. And third one, production. We are looking for financing around 200,000 euros to start produce our own protein bars. Right now, we are refining the recipe. In addition, we want to produce insect cookies. This is a niche product, and at the moment, only one company in Europe produces it. When it comes to our customer profile, we can distinguish 3 target groups. First one, positively greens, people who care about the environment. Next one, young athletes, people who do a lot of sports, so they need a lot of healthy protein. And pioneers, who are not scared of new flavors and who are open for new foods. Right now, we have only one competitive company in Poland, and there are around 20 young companies in Europe selling edible insects products. The European market grows by more than 28% annually. It is forecast to reach $500 million in 2027. Therefore, we see a great market opportunity here. We want to extend our activities to the whole of Europe. Our team consists of 2 people. Patrick is a marketing specialist, and he's responsible for development of e-commerce and distribution network. I'm a dietitian responsible for product development and substantive support. To sum up, we have so far increased consumer awareness about the benefits of consumption of insects through marketing, PR, and cooperation with influencers. We built a committed community around our company. The time has come to introduce our own products and to expand abroad. So if you want to be a part of Insects Revolution, join us. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Ursula from Foodbucks. And we continue with an online contestant that develops a personalized cosmetic shopping assistant that helps people to find the best cosmetics possible suited for their skin type and conditions using deep learning AI. So that would be Gurami Obava WeWell.app.
Hi guys, I'm pretty sure at least once you stopped in front of cosmetic shelf in drugstore trying to figure out which will be best fit for you. I can tell you from my experience and many others, it's not easy. My name is Gurami, I'm co-founder and CEO of WeWell. WeWell is a mobile application and acts as a personalized cosmetic shopping assistant that helps people to find the best cosmetics available on the market based on their skin type and skin conditions using deep learning AI. Actually, the idea popped up when our wives came to us with the request to build a tool to make the cosmetic shopping easier and effective. because most of the time they were purchasing cosmetics without knowing what risks its ingredients had. Often they purchased wrong products for their skin types and had to buy another and spend more money on that. As in most cases, opened cosmetics are not refundable. And they weren't alone in this, actually. Most of their friends suffer from these issues as well. So current customer buying behavior is quite often to purchase expensive products, not because of quality, but to do the marketing, brand name, or based on the packaging and how it looks like. Why? Because of the ingredients. They are often too complex and need more profound knowledge of the chemicals. So why does it matter? Because the market opportunity for us is huge. The cosmetic industry is one of the biggest in the world, and the global market for natural and organic cosmetics is peaking at the moment, which identifies the massive interest of customers purchasing the product using natural and low-risk ingredients. So how our application works? It's pretty simple. Customers just need to run integrated skin analysis for us to detect what skin type they have or what skin condition they might have. Let's say acne, wrinkles, oily skin, dry skin, and so on. And then once they are shopping, within just one scan of the cosmetic barcode, we will match the information about their skin type with the cosmetic barcode's ingredients and help them to choose the right one for their largest organ skin. This is exactly where our competition struggles. We are providing personalized experience and personalized evaluations of how it matches user skin health, not just giving general information about the product and its ingredients. Our team is highly experienced in delivering such technology. Me and my co-founder are both ex-SAP software engineers and have an amazing team, including biotech engineer with 10 years of working experience in biotech industry, cosmetic ingredient specialist specializing in homemade cosmetics, and we will definitely make this one work. At this stage, the business model for users is freemium. However, as an extension for revenue model, we want to offer users a marketplace that will be completely in sync with their skin health, so they can purchase the tailored cosmetics without leaving their comfort zone home. We believe that everyone, such as you and me, should know what cosmetics are we buying and how it would affect our skin. On closed beta testing, we gained 5,000 users, and can you imagine what we can do after we launch? We are currently raising our pre-seed round, and if you share the same values, join us on our journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Gurami. This was WeWell.app, and we continue with another online pitch, this time a Slovak company developing an automated self-maintenance control system that solves issues for industrial robots. And presented will be Lucia Karasova, and the startup is Aerobot.
Can I start? Hello to everyone. I would like to start with Isaac Asimov's third robotics law that says robots have to protect themselves. I'm Lucia from eRobot, and we teach robots to do just that. By 2025, there will be more than 5 million of industrial robots. Every day I hear that they will be used for maintenance across all industries. So why can robots be maintained by other robots? They can. And the key factor is proper lubrication. Our solution is based on interconnection of robot gearboxes, artificial intelligence for central lubrication management, and oil cleaning solution that is based on temperature and pressure regulation, which we applied for a robot manufacturer in Germany, where we decreased robot temperature for 30%. That eliminated robot downtime in a production line. We analyzed a range of robot failures and discovered a proper connection between proper lubrication and robot sustainability. We offer absolutely new disruptive innovation that is called an automatic self-maintenance control system. It consists of two segments. It's software and hardware. Software analyzes all major lubrication parameters, and hardware starts to run our self-healing system. Our competitors only monitor robot failures by vibro-diagnostic and motion control, but they cannot prevent robot breakdown. Our solution we provide directly identifies the root cause of robot failures and prevents robot breakdown in early stage. So this is the best prevention against oil leakage and robot breakdown. Our value proposition is clear. We save money, increase productivity, and go green. Market size is really huge. There is 2.8 million of industrial robots across all industries and 0.4 million of annual installations of new robots. Our goal is to achieve more than 5% of the robotic market by 2025. We have planned for B2B sales model that is based on rental and licensing revenues from integration system into robot constructions by robot manufacturers. Since 2023, we expect to start serial production. We are a team of 10 from the sphere of gearbox production, mostly software and hardware developers, engineers, and constructors. Thank you for your attention.
Much, Lucia and Aerobot. We continue back with the physical presentations. A digital doorman that brings smart home revolution to existing apartment buildings. I would like to welcome on the stage Jesse Eisenberg from PhoneIn.
Hey everybody. Delivery these days is a really big deal. It powers trillions of dollars in business like Amazon and Wolt and Gorillas and Postmates. But misdelivery is a really big problem for the last mile. That costs these companies tens of billions every year, wastes CO2 emissions, and makes it so you and I still sit at home all afternoon waiting for that package. We actually see delivery as part of a bigger concept, which is access. Access also affects companies like Airbnb and even HubHub here that has guests and employees coming in and out every day. At PhoneIn, we're solving the problem of access by creating a smart access platform with a vision and a focus on consumer experience. We want to make keys a romantic idea of the past. We're doing this in 3 steps. First, we're releasing our first product, which is a smart apartment intercom. We decided to start here with our first device because apartment intercoms is a very big industry in the smart home space that has not really been tapped with a smart device. We've got 30 prototypes in the market already, and our Kickstarter numbers are our pre-sale numbers are looking really good. The Kickstarter is in April, so please check it out and tell your friends. Step 2, we're going to create a set of companion products to go along with it. So that's smart door cameras and smart door locks. These will all work together in unison to create the best smart access option on the market. No other company is doing all this under one app and under one great brand. And then the final step is the smart access platform. That's where companies like Amazon and Airbnb can connect directly to our platform and get one-time access automatically to your space, safely and securely. You don't have to do a thing. You just get a push notification with pictures and videos, and the groceries are waiting for you on your counter when you get home. We're looking to raise capital next summer after a very strong Kickstarter. We've put together a good team of hardware and software engineers, designers, and global brand marketers. And so I would say these companies have an opportunity to be more green, to make more money, have larger delivery windows, and it all depends on building a great product and a great app that people love to use that gives you control over your space and the freedom to never feel stuck at home. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jesse and PhoneIn. We get back to the online space with a battery lifecycle service for any device that prevents the failures of devices and their downtime. Mysterious. What does it mean? Michal Szaszczynski, battery check.
There will be more than 1 billion internet-connected devices in EU only by 2025, leveraging battery as the primary or secondary energy source. And these will be electric vehicles, energy storage systems, industrial robots, various sensors, and even home appliances. And batteries are sometimes toxic, flammable, expensive, and unpredictable. So if we do not monitor those devices and batteries properly and actively, it might have a pretty big environmental and financial impact. I'm Michal, ex-Microsoft EMEA IoT specialist, and together with my very experienced colleagues in data analytics, battery manufacturing and design, and backend development, we are developing a solution for this problem. It's something like a Google Analytics, but for the batteries. It's a software, cloud-based platform and solution which stores and analyzes the data coming via internet to our platform. And once we have the data, we either try to identify anomalies so we can predict the unexpected downtime of the device, or predict how long the battery would live, and even recommend ideal predictive maintenance or replacement window, and recommend on second life repurposing or recycling. So we basically cover the whole battery life cycle. Our customers are primarily battery powered device manufacturers because we need the data from their devices, otherwise there is nothing to analyze. We successfully ran more than 10 pilot projects, and we are actively integrating the first 3 customers. We approach them either directly or via our sales agents because it's not easy to cover all the manufacturers. Our competitors are primarily covering electric vehicles because of the rise of e-mobility, or energy storage systems because of the photovoltaic power plants and batteries connected to it. We are actively looking for new recommendations to battery powered device manufacturers, and also trying to find an investor who will help us to speed up the development and sales of our solution to the whole EU. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michal and Battery Check. We go back into the offline now with a plant-based yogurt alternative created from sunflower seeds enriched in sunflower protein. It will be Katarzyna Jędraszek, Sungurt.
So, hi everyone. My name is Kasia and I'm the founder of Sunflower Plant Power Startup. I have noticed that most of the plant-based yogurt alternatives are not satisfactory. For example, coconut yogurts have a small amount of protein, sweet coconut characteristic flavor, and they are produced from coconut milk that is imported. On the other hand, soy yogurts have also bean characteristic flavor. Soy is used in all products for vegan and vegetarians. Besides, soy is also controversial and can be allergen. What is more, in Poland, only 2 companies produce plant-based yogurts in glass jars, and still half the most popular plant-based yogurts don't contain calcium. That's why I created Sungurts, which are plant-based yogurts based on sunflower seeds. But why the Sungurt is a good choice? Because Sungurt is enriched in sunflower protein, is a source of calcium, contains yogurt bacteria that have positive impact on our digestive system, has no bean or sweet flavor, is good for allergy sufferers, produced from locally grown sunflower seeds, and packed in a glass jar. So who are the clients of our product? Especially vegans and vegetarians, but also less zero waste supporters, flexitarians, traditional diet followers, and allergy sufferers. We can notice that the vegan yogurt market is booming. It is estimated that by 2027, the global vegan yogurt market will reach above $6 billion. So you may ask, what has been achieved so far? About 70 people, including vegan, vegetarians, and traditional diet followers, have tried Sungurt, and 94% said that Sungurt can compete with other plant-based yogurts, and 88% would buy Sungurt again. What is more, Sungurts appeared in the first few stores in Poland, and they received first positive opinions from the clients. So you may ask, what will be the next steps? So firstly, we plan to rent a small production line, then start distribution in local grocery stores and online stores in Poland. After this stage, we plan to open our own vegan manufacturer and expand distribution channels. To reach these goals, we need the financial support in amount of 200,000 euros. A few words about my team. I'm Kasia, I'm the creator of Sangoods. I will be responsible for product development, and Wojtek is the co-founder, and he will be responsible for finance and logistics. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Kasia. Is there any of Sangood in the catering? Perhaps, perhaps not, but we'll try it later. Thank you. We continue with something that I'm not even going to attempt to describe because I wouldn't say it correctly. I'm just going to give you some keywords and you mix it up together, or you listen to the presenter very carefully. It is an economic system. It has video games. It removes barriers to entry, and it has blockchain and game development companies. Whatever it is going to be presented by Adam Zelfel from Blockcheck.
Hello, my name is Adam, and it's a pleasure for me to introduce our company Blockcheck and our product. One of the two major challenges of building a product on the top of blockchain technologies is dealing with very costly development, which can easily exceed $100,000 in 6-month development period. The second challenge is dealing with fault-intolerant communities, because every time you make a mistake during the development on the blockchain, it will cost your community their money. But we found out a solution that will solve these issues and help companies which are using crypto to develop their products with no need to handle with these development costs and risks. Our solution, which we call YourSwap, is basically a crypto assets exchange gateway. With that service, you can easily start selling NFTs or any other kinds of crypto assets. Or, for example, you can sell your own tokens to the community to raise the funds to make your product even better. And how to use that? It's basically a plugin which you will choose to suit your application well. And after that, you will just set up prices for NFTs or any other tokens and start selling. Our target market is growing. In the last 6 months, it doubled up to $1.6 billion. Currently, there are more than 220 million users which are involved in crypto. And you can see more and more people are starting using crypto, same as the internet evolved in the end of the 20th century. We already created solutions that are worth $120,000. Our goal is to increase that number by the end of the fourth quarter this year, up to $250,000. And who are we? We are a company which consists of 10 people, and we are 3 founders. Jakub, Artem, which is here with me, and me. We are coming from Czech Technical University in Prague, and originally we were the core development team at CFG, which is an investment group in the Czech Republic. So I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and let's connect with Blockcheck and start building future now.
Thank you, Adam, for the strong ending. I really appreciate it. It was a good one. We continue with our second to last presentation coming from Slovakia. And you will hear about a new way to promote brands that make every social media user a marketing figure. It will be presented by René Darmos, Promobay.
My name is René. I'm co-founder of Promobay. What's the single most ultimate scarcity in the world? It's attention. Sure, you've been using Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Those became the most influential places on the internet, and the biggest attention goes to big influencers like our co-founder Gogo, who's gathered 2 million subscribers on YouTube, 1 million on Instagram, and his fans were all the time asking him, Gogo, how can we earn on YouTube, on Instagram? But for these small guys, there wasn't any solution. Still, there isn't. Meanwhile, the space has evolved, matured, and nowadays these small accounts with under 1K followers have 7 times higher engagement rate than those with over 100K followers. Obviously, when you see Gogo with some sneakers, you know it's paid advertisement, you don't care. But when you see your friend, your colleague, you just don't consider it advertisement. Never. Content is much more authentic, resulting in much higher engagement rate and consequently in much better return of marketing investment. So we started with the creation of the world's most influential human network, meaning that transnational corporations, media and marketing agencies, or just businesses and brands will be able to leverage the power of the crowd for promotion of their product. For example, McDonald's, new cheese season. They want to effectively spend their marketing budget, so they come to our website, they create the brief, and on the other side, the crowd, our users, they are notified about this, and after fulfillment of this brief, they just upload the print screen on our application, and they get paid. And Promobay is here to secure the smoothness of the process for both sides, and for this we are taking at least 20% fee in the space that's been growing 50% annually, topped 10 billion last year, and expected to get to 100 billion by 2030. And why not when marketeers are making $5.2 out of each one invested? It's nice. Can you imagine that by acquiring 10% out of 3.8 billion social media users, we could create the network in the Twitter size without relying on any single network? So we are about to finalize our MVP by the end of this year. In March, we are starting with campaigns and confirmed clients Vistenot, Nestle, Unilever, and 365 Bank. And after this, we want to expand rapidly. And for this, we are searching an investment partner. So if you share our vision, let's redefine social media and build a unicorn out of Promobay together. Got your attention?
Thank you, René, for possibly the smoothest presentation of this evening, but don't take my word, make your own judgment. And we are getting to the last one, and we started with clean tech. We're ending on a clean tech note as well. You know, those solar panels, they're so difficult to clean. Now there's a solution that makes it effectively and with a minimum of environmental impact. So I would welcome István Havas on the stage, solar farm cleaning robot.
Hello, I am István from the solar farm cleaning robot team from Budapest, Hungary. As you might know, solar energy is increasing worldwide, and this is very important for decarbonizing our existence on the planet. But as solar panels are being used, more and more pollution is deposited on their surface, and this causes them to produce less and less electricity. And in case of industrial solar plantations, it can cause giant profit losses. This is why we have to clean these solar panels regularly, but unfortunately most of the existing solutions either use a lot of water to clean solar panels, or some of them use no water, but these are not really effective for cleaning. And at the same time, as solar capacity is expected to grow further, we will not have any more water to clean these more and more solar farms. This is why we are working on a robot that is cleaning solar farms in a good quality, but cleans them with about an order of magnitude less water than our concurrents. Well, you might ask how we do it. Well, this is, of course, unfortunately, a subject of a secret know-how, but this is a combination, an innovative combination of water and cleaning and mechanical cleaning. Well, this is a stage of a prototype now, a field-tested prototype, and of course we plan to carry out further tests. In our team, we have Gábor, who is a great strategist and an experienced entrepreneur, Károly, who is an engineer of electronics, CEO and co-founder of an engineering office in Hungary, and myself, a biotechnologist and a business developer. Our target customers are solar panel manufacturers, big utility companies, solar farm owners, and also the companies who do the installation and maintenance of solar farms. For scaling, we plan to focus on our core business, which is the production, development, and maintenance of our robots, and we would like to have local partners worldwide who would sell and actually use for cleaning our product. Well, for revenues, this is just a prototype, so we do not have any revenues yet, but we have quite positive feedback and interest from the installation and maintenance industry worldwide, and we also have regular requests from basically every continent from solar farm owners, and they ask us for quotations about cleaning. And what are here for we tonight? Well, we of course seek industrial partnerships, and we would like to have about 400,000 euros to complete the product development within about a year. And please do not hesitate to talk to me here at the Future Now 2021 event tonight, or reach our website solar-development.hu and send a message to us from there. So let's clean solar farms with less water worldwide, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, István. This finalizes our 10 pitches for tonight. And now the jury, these 5 people, ladies and gentlemen, in the front row, can be moved upstairs to deliberate and choose their winner. Now, the audience, you can take out your phones, and soon you will see how to get to Slido, what hashtag use, and then you can vote for your favorite. You can do so now and also during the panel discussion, but it's going to be so interesting, you should do it now, because then you're gonna miss the panel discussion, and then you're gonna be sad. So please vote. You can do it now. The hashtag, the hashtag is FTRNW 2021. And we will be back shortly with our panel discussion, so stay tuned. The panel discussion members of the panel discussion: Mária, Martin, Tomás. Martin and Tomás. Kde seš? Aha. Okay, so.
Čau.
Čauko. Sadni si vedľa mňa, kľudne. So, welcome. We can continue. I hope you have voted, and if you haven't, you do so in the upcoming minutes. And here we are joined by some Future Now alumni, and also somebody else who is in the Future Now alumni, but perhaps he wishes he was. I will start with founder and CEO at Matsuko, pioneer in the field of holographic communication, here in flesh and blood. Perhaps Martin, just poke her if she's really here, or if the innovation, she's here. No. Mária Virčík.
Hello.
Then we have CEO and co-founder at Sensoneo, a smart waste management solution provider, and one of the only 3 Slovak companies to receive funding through the EIC Accelerator scheme. And I believe he's also from Trenčín, so that's a very good point for him. Hello, Martin Basila.
Hi, good evening.
We continue with Innovation Director and co-founder at EcoCapsule, a Slovak design heavyweight developing and selling low-energy and possibly off-grid housing units, Tomáš Žáček.
Thank you and good evening.
Hello. And to complement these Future Now alumni, we have another Future Now alumni from Poland, and that is the founder at Rendero, and Rendero is a cloud-based virtual workstation for creatives in digital content and video, Piotr Chomczyk.
Hi, guys.
Hello, Piotr. I'm glad that everything works, and if I see correctly, you're in the Warsaw HubHub.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, so the Vortex works. And finally, founder and CEO of Jim Beam, the fastest growing fitness brand in Europe with millions of customers, thousands of products, hundreds of team members in 14 countries. Is that number still correct? Dalibor Cicman.
Yes, thank you. Hi, everybody.
Hi. So we will be discussing while they're deliberate, so we're going to have more fun perhaps. I will start with a question regarding communities. Now, what communities are you part of locally or thematically, and what support or inputs were you offered from these communities? What are you thankful for, or perhaps even what did you give back to those communities? It is a big question. You can unload it part by part, and perhaps we start with Piotr. Haha, unexpected.
Okay, so definitely I'm a part of HubHub community, obviously. Then some other startup communities after the programs that we participated in. The support offered by this kind of communities is based on contacts that members can provide and knowledge that they are willing to share. It is extremely helpful to discuss the ideas and challenges I face with other founders, with mentors, with investors from those communities. And it is crucial for me as it allows me to avoid some of the mistakes and find a better solution to the challenges that I'm facing. And you ask, how do I give back? I try to give back the same. So I'm trying to offer my knowledge, my relevant connections that might help other founders, other startuppers.
Thank you, Piotr. Maria, what is your take?
Yes, so we in Matsuku are part of the local communities such as Košice IT Valley, that is our hometown community of IT companies, but as well at the global scale, I am personally part of the female founders community in Paris that empower women leaders, but also in our industry it's important to be part of the growth together. For example, we are in the telco industry, so we are part of the T-Mobile in the US or Deutsche Telekom, O2, I have to say O2, as well, the Wyra Accelerator. But as well, last week we were in San Francisco, where we took part in the Augmented World Expo, where you realize that you make holograms and it's normal. So it's nice to really connect to those who also work in the same industry.
So you're part of the holographic community.
Exactly, the metaverse.
Wow, how big is this community?
If you saw the talk by Mark Zuckerberg, it was 2 weeks ago, you realize it's like really big and it's getting bigger.
All right, the shadow world. But you mentioned Košice. We have also Dalibor, who I believe is also hailing from Košice. So what communities are you part of? How do you give back, and what did you get from them?
Yes, I'm really happy that I'm first time in a panel discussion with somebody from Eastern Slovakia, Maria. And usually we must travel to communities because events in Košice is not so much. I have a good memories from events in a HubHub. There was competition of e-commerce's Master Gates. and we was winner in 2015. And after that, I was a judge in this competition. And in Košice, we built communities. We organize many events. We organize data hackathons, data meetups, Marketing Thursday for software developers. We organize QA nights or BBC nights. That our company want to integrate to communities of professionals, and this is way how we can build our employer branding and support talent in Eastern Slovakia.
And Dalibor, do you miss HubHub in Košice?
Yes, it is now miss.
You guys, listen, you can open one in Košice. Dalibor would sit there.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now we move to the two green men in here. I mean, that was my liberty to say. Well, the sustainability startups in one way or another, starting with Martin.
Hello.
Hello. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you again. So, what are your communities?
We are dealing with the waste. So, this is my pure focus on waste. So, I have so many pictures of bins of the waste collection cars. So this is my, but it's really my life, and I've been in so many bins physically, like every high school bin in Sacramento. My body was there, and it's pretty stinky because the high schools they're drinking milk or they're not drinking milks, and then in the summer it's really really smelly. And I was everywhere inside the bin to mount our sensors to get the data out of it. So waste is really my life. I was everywhere in the bin.
Do you wish you could use the holographic technology Matsuko is developing so you could be in the bin and not be in the bin?
Not really, because you have to drill a couple of holes and mount a sensor in it. And I really like it. It's kind of physical activity. I will buy something from Jim Bean, like protein snag, and then I jump to another bin.
It's fine.
Yeah. So this is but I'm really living the environment and the circular economy and sustainability life. And when we're speaking about the communities, I think we as a company, we are learning every day from new opportunities or new piece of digitalization in the waste industry. And it's pretty old school, so every innovation which we're coming with, it's helping the community itself. And beside that, I'm doing advisory to two governments here in Slovakia. I'm an advisor of Minister of Environment, and I'm also advisor for Saudi Arabia. It's on the little bit different corner of the world. And this is something that I really like, that I can bring some experience to on a national level, and that's pretty exciting.
So you're in the waste community.
Yeah, that's
it's
my
not
life.
a waste. It's good.
It's not waste of my life in the waste.
Thank you, Martin. And then we have Tomáš and EcoCapsule. Is Susan Sarandon in your community?
Definitely.
Nice.
She's a part of our team, of our marketing team at the moment, as you've seen the video.
What do you pay her?
We pay her with the experience to be in EcoCapsule.
With exposure.
Yeah, she likes it. She likes us, we like her, so it's a mutual. And community, we are not really part of any formal communities. I have to say we are part of Crowdberry community because they are paying our our adventures here. So in several rounds. So we have to say they are a big part of us. And we are still architects and designers, so we feel the part of this architects, designers, art community a little bit. So that's what we feel, what we do.
Thank you. Now we're talking about communities and what you get from them, what you give them back. So can you name the best advice you were given by someone from a community, which is, of course, everybody's part of a community. So perhaps Maria, you can start. Yeah. I was just looking at you, so.
So I would say just surround yourself with people who would mention your name in the room full of opportunities, like this one. Yeah.
Get your exposure.
Yes, I would not underestimate the power of connection and networking. And I have this superpower. When I meet someone new, I realize you should meet that one or her or him, you know. And I really like to connect people because I was connected to many people I co-work with or who helped me in the past.
Are you looking to connect with someone right now?
Yes, let's connect. Of course, I am here because of that.
All right, so connecting by the sandwiches outside. Maria is open for connections. Piotr, you are part of the HubHub community, and you even mentioned the great advice you were given. Could you tell us what piece of advice was it that you consider until now that shaped you?
It's hard to pinpoint one thing, right? There's a plenty of things I wish I'd known before starting my journey as a founder. Before I started Trendro, I was a filmmaker for more than 12 years. So I come from a totally different world. My problems, the problems that I was facing, challenges I was facing before Trendro were totally different. But I think that the most crucial thing that I learned when creating Trendro is something totally opposite from what I was used to in the film industry. So in the film industry, everything had to be tipped up, right? You were creating a new reality that people watching your piece were experiencing, and so we have. You were I was putting maximum effort to make it believable, to make it look and feel real, right? And when creating Trendro, I found out that giving yourself fully to ideas that are not perfectly well tested is a waste of resources. So this idea of 20-80, right? 20% of work, 80% of effect was something that I learned in a hard way for those couple of years when working on Trendro. And I think that it took me a lot to internalize this thing. So I think that this is the most crucial advice, and I was hearing it a lot from the very beginning.
Thank you very much. So the use of resources, trying to maximize what you have, and to sort of wait with crossing the T's and dotting the I's, because, well, you have to first prove that the first things you've done worked. Dalibor, with your 14 countries and millions of, millions of products.
Even euro.
Euros, yeah. Oh, look at his headset. That was not an easy, cheap one. Whoa. What advice were you given? Because you sort of rose as a star of e-commerce from Košice, and now you are a European player. Did somebody advise you somehow, or is it all you?
I have many advices, and I think that one of the most useful I read in a book. I recommend a book, Innovator's Dilemma, and there was something like that. You can't compete with the existing companies in the fields where they are strong, only in a field where they are weak. And this was a big part of our business strategy. And I think that it's a big part of our company culture now, that we innovating and leading thanks to new technologies. And usually when we analyze some problem, we don't copycat solution from another companies, because usually in other companies solved this issue a few years ago, and now can exist a better solution. And we usually analyze the newest approaches.
And so what was the weak spot that you found out first with the existing companies that you learned from and you've built Jim Beam on top of?
In our field, I think that we was first company in this region with a direct-to-customer model. That we are e-commerce, but we have so many own brands and distributed directly from manufacturers, develop products by customers' data, and I think that is way how we can build better customer experience.
Thank you very much. Now to the man who advises. You're not only getting advice, but you're also giving advice. So perhaps with you, I would rephrase the question: what was the best advice you gave to someone? Say a Saudi sheikh.
I'm not speaking with Saudi sheikh. I would get the Breitling on my hand then. I would say one thing that I don't know who advised me, but the thing is that be open-minded, because everything what the startup said today is not true. And the numbers are different, the perceptions of the market are different, your challenges with the things your challenges are different. And you have to be flexible enough to change your mind, to learn what is really needed, and very flexibly change the direction, even change the product, maybe change the portfolio, change the co-founders. And I think this flexibility is something, I think it was Hans Habermann from Credo Ventures who gave me this one, that you have to still learn, you have to still observe, you have to still be ready to do even dramatic change. And this is the way to survive. That's my advice, which I was given.
It's a great advice.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Tomáš?
I have a very similar opinion. It went from my parents. They told me, be yourself and always educate yourself further. So, and then I have like a moral and professional compass to pick the really good advices, because you got tons, millions of advices on your journey, and you have to really pick the few of them, because most of them, they are like unwanted advices even. So that's it. You just need to pick few, 3, 4 good and be yourself.
What was the worst advice you were given?
Worst advice? I think my worst decision was that at the beginning, after I got funds, I decided not to be CEO, because I thought that to focus on the product is the most important thing. And I stepped aside, and one of our investors, he was very, very experienced manager in the cutting of subsidiaries and in cutting of companies, but we've been very, very tender startup. But this was worst decision. He was brilliant, but in different stage of company, and it almost killed us. So I came back, and it was again Hans Habermann from Credo Ventures who told me, Martin, you shouldn't give up the CEO position. You have to be, even if you want or not, you have to be the CEO. So I came back as a CEO, and then after that it's working. Yeah, that was my worst decision, not the advice.
So you didn't need advice to make the decision?
Exactly, unfortunately. Yeah.
Maria?
So we will see in the future, but we are given an advice that we are 2 CEOs, and that's strange, you know, because everybody thinks like you cannot be 2 CEOs because who decides in the company, but every company is different. So for us it works, for some other company it may not.
So you disregarded that advice?
Yeah, we'll see
or
in the
that
future.
remark?
You know, at this stage in our company, it's the best we think we can have. But maybe in 1 year, in 5 years, I will focus more on some areas, Mateusz will focus on other areas, we'll see, or some other CEO will come, you'll never know.
So a triple CEO?
Maybe, yeah. Why not? In the metaverse, everything is possible.
Anybody can be a CEO. Piotr, bad advice. Or if you don't have bad advice, just your own error that you could share with us.
Sure. In terms of bad advices, I tend to be picky about who I listen to. So I don't think that I followed any kind of bad advice, but of course I made mistakes, and I'm still making them. This is basically making mistakes is the way that most people learn, and I'm not a genius. I need to fail to take a lesson from time to time. And but I think that the biggest errors that I'm still making, and I'm struggling currently to learn and not make those fallacies, are connected with work-life balance. This is one thing, and the second thing is the way I hire. We are still hiring in a reactive way. So whenever the amount of work exceeds our capabilities, then we start to look for new employees, and this is a mistake that we are continuously doing for the last year and a half. And I wish we broke this vicious cycle. So this is one thing. And the second thing, this work-life balance. For the past 3 years, I had only 7 days of holidays, and I just realized that a couple of days ago, and it started to affect my productivity. And I plan to fix this mistake in the coming weeks. To allow myself to rest and to not be devoted to what I'm doing, right? Because it drives me, right? But it started to affect other fields of life. So those are the errors, and I think that those are kind of big ones, right?
Did you feel when you were not taking any time off that you have to be there for every stage and every step that the company makes?
Oh, it's not like have to, right? It's wants to. So this is the thing, right? It wasn't a pressure from the outside. It was some kind of internal pressure. So I didn't realize that I haven't been resting. There's actually some of my friends pointed those things out. That I stopped doing my passions. I stopped diving. I stopped going to the mountains, and I didn't even realize that, right?
Dalibor, with your hundreds of collaborators, and I'm taking these words from your LinkedIn, so you can't really say it's not true. Do you also feel that you never take time off?
I think that for me was a big challenge a few years ago, work-life balance. I was a workaholic, but another good advice from I don't know who told me was that it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And about 1 year ago, I had a leadership program on a Stanford University, and it was a big surprise for me when something like lessons about managing and how lead a team was about health of leader and how feel good and how these good feelings give to your team. And I think that is a way how to build a great team and great relationships with your colleagues, care about yourself and your peace of mind.
Thank you very much, Dalibor. We could say treat yourself is something that you should all do from time to time. At this point, you guys perhaps don't see it, but the jury has returned. And I thank you for being here with us. I thank you, Piotr. I thank you, Dalibor.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
And I would also like to thank Tomáš.
Thank you.
Maria and Martin.
Thank you.
Krátko to bylo. Well, I believe we're missing some faces in this room. So I implore them to come back because they're going to miss the biggest part of the evening. And who would want to miss that? Then you would have to watch the stream again. And why would you do that? You are here. You should come back and you should sit down and you should be here for the winner's announcements. Now, I will give you a couple of more seconds while I'll talk without any meaning, and then I will announce the order in which we're going to be announcing the winners. So remember, we have 3 winners. We start with the audience winner, so the one you were voting for. Then we continue through the HubHub prize, and we end it all up with the jury. So at this point, I would like to welcome on the stage HubHub Group Community and Partnerships Manager, Gaia Arzili. Hello, Gaia.
Hello.
Yes.
Nice to be here.
Thank you. And everybody just remember, you can make noise. This is the point where you can make noise. Yeah. Well, keep something for later.
It's been a hard choice. I have to say that we closed the vote with 740 votes, so thank you very much.
What?
I know, right? So thank you to the audience online, offline, and anyone involved. I would like to announce the audience prize is going to eRobot. Who's online?
Lucia, are you online? You have won the audience prize.
Hijo. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes. You want to say
And
a
can you
couple of
see me?
words?
I can't hear you.
Oh, you have won the audience prize.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you all for the votes.
Oh, there you are. Okay, so here you are. Well, you want to say something?
I think that thank you is enough.
You can
Thank
thank
you
your
for-
family, and teachers, parents,
My family are my members here, and I thank you them for the support and all for votes.
All right, thank you very much. Just to remind you what you have won, it's free credits from Microsoft and also this beautiful artifact that will remind you of your triumph for the years to
Wow,
come.
thank you.
We will have to send it to the east of Slovakia where eRobot is based. And also
Yeah.
you have the 3 months of membership at HubHub, so you better move here. 'cause-
Actually, yes, we are asking them
Yeah.
to move here.
Yeah, well, you can open in Košice. Just saying. Congratulations, eRobot, for audience prize.
Thank you.
So we continue. At this point, I would like to welcome on the stage head of HubHub and Cubes, powered by HB Reavis, Filip Walsiak.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to HubHub. Very, very happy to see you here. We had pretty tough voting in the team. I think a bunch of relationships are broken right now. But we decided that the HubHub prize goes to food bugs.
Food bugs!
I'm really in shock because this was my first speech, so thank you very much. And I'd like to thank you to my parents that watching this. I think that is really cute. Yeah, thank you, and I hope that we'll be still growing and we will meet again in other events. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. Stay with us. Stay with us. We're gonna create a little group of winners and award givers, and then we're gonna take a picture. So we have audience, we have HubHub, and well, yeah, the jury. Now, did you decide? Oh, there it is. All right, I would like to welcome on the stage Mihaela Vidlan-Paszek. I hope I said it right. Paszek Virlan. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's absolutely fine. You said it perfectly, and congratulations. You have been an amazing host tonight.
Oh, thank you.
It has been very tough for us. I think we had 3 criterias. We had I'm little. We had ethics. We had scalability and innovation. It was very tough and very short for us, but it's a name that you've heard tonight already, and that's eRobot.
eRobot.
Is it real? Is it real?
Well, congratulations to your, well, another statue is like Oscars, you know? Who do you want to thank this time? You already thanked your parents. What about your grandparents?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
But I couldn't hear you.
Well, you have won again. You have won again.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. I have to find the words.
Yeah. Two words, you know. It's really like the Oscars or Emmys or Tonys, whatever you want.
Wow, that's great. So, what should I tell the first? So I really thank for all the week I have experienced there because it was really helpful. I gained a lot of new knowledge and experience and great advice from jury and all people there from other startups. And I wish all the best, all startups that experience the same great week with me. And thank you all participants there. It's unbelievable, but okay, I believe it. Wow, that's great.
Well, congratulations. You get really good in this thank you speech. The second time, the third time you will be a total pro. So, well, a big applause again. And for this picture, should we have the picture with Lucia's floating head in the space? So come closer and listen to the photographer. Close.
And the price.
Is it okay?
Yes, you're the biggest one.
Oh,
Oh. Wow, I get a little bit deaf in here.
Thank you for this photo.
We will send you the photo and we hope that you will look great on it because you're really big on the screen. No, seriously, it's great, it's great. So, guys, ladies, gentlemen, friends, this concludes the 10th year of Startup Awards / Future Now. The 10 years flew by in a blink of an eye, but the mission of the first Startup Awards still holds: to innovate, to venture, and to inspire. We thank the startups for their work, the jury for their input, and our partners for their continuous support. I have also some sort of heavier remarks ready, and I see that you're not rushing to the catering, so I will tell them. So you see, Slovak and C societies continue to be in need of innovation and entrepreneurship, as was noted several times here. We need to truly transform our economies into competitive economies of the 21st century, based not on cheap hands, but on our minds. Some steps were taken. Governments realized the necessity to innovate, at least in their words. We'll see how it goes with the action. And also, while 10 years ago we talked mostly about the transformative power innovation has on our societies and economies, today we look at innovators and technologies for solutions to the climate and health crisis. Crises we are increasingly threatened by, crises that do not only menace our standards of living, our way of life, but the very fabric of life. Stepping outside of the comfort zone, as Mr. Bobovnitsky has said, bringing an idea to life and pursuing its growth is what innovators can deliver, while we can create a nurturing environment and supportive community to help them thrive. Thank you for joining us tonight and being part of the HubHub community. Good night.